Country Craft Corner. How in the world are you guys doing today? It is so good to see you again, and thank you so much for stopping back by to see what I'm up to. And what I'm up to today is I'm going to be making a baked topped cheesecake. That's just what it was called on the Duncan Hines, the side of the Duncan Hines classic yellow cake mix back in the 70s, you guys. That's where this recipe came from, I believe. We got it from a neighbor of ours years and years ago, like I say, back in the 70s. And this recipe card is my handwriting when I was a young, newly married lady, and I got it out of my mom's recipe box, and this has been the recipe, as you can see, that I've used to make this thing. I pretty much know it by heart, but to make this thing through the years. So we're gonna get started on this, and as you all know, for those of you who've been with me a while, you've seen me do this cheesecake before, and I think a lot of you have even tried it and have loved it. And thank you so much for that feedback. We as a family absolutely love this cheesecake. It always works out, and it always is tasty, and it's just really good. One thing I'm going to be experimenting with in this video though, the last time I did this, and I believe the last time I did this was in Stacy and Mai's kitchen, you know, Stacy and Arlynn in the kitchen. And the recipe calls for, you make a crust first out of part of the cake mix and oil, like vegetable oil. And it calls for 2 tablespoons of vegetable oil. And I believe, I can't remember, I haven't watched that video for a while, but I believe I dropped it down to like 1 tablespoon in that video, and it was still too much. So I'm going to drop that down, that amount of oil down to about a teaspoon, and I'll start mixing it and see if I need to add a little bit more. We're gonna tweak this recipe today as we go, because apparently one of you guys told me, researched it, and told me that Duncan Hines doesn't put the amount of cake mix in their boxes as they used to in the 70s. They've reduced it by, I can't remember how much. So anyway, we're gonna go ahead and do the recipe as it calls for everything except for that amount of oil. Because if you use too much oil, you put a little crust in the bottom, and it makes the crust spongy, and it makes it hard to spread over the bottom of the dish. And you'll see what I'm talking about. Let's just turn this camera down here and get started on this thing, and I'll explain more as I go. But anyway, again, I'm doing a topped baked cheesecake. We bake it in the oven. As you saw, I preheated my oven to 300. Let me go through the ingredients first. You need a classic yellow Duncan Hines cake mix. I've never used anything but Duncan Hines. So I haven't used Betty Crocker. I haven't used a generic brand. The recipe was originally on a Duncan Hines cake mix, and I just remembered that. You need a box of Duncan Hines cake mix. It calls for 2 tablespoons of vegetable oil. I'm not going to use that much. You need 2 packages of cream cheese. I use Philadelphia, the original Philadelphia cream cheese. That's what I use. You need 2 8-ounce bricks of cream cheese. You need a 1/2 cup of sugar. You need 4 eggs, a 1.5 cups of milk, and 3 teaspoons of vanilla. Then you need a can of your favorite pie filling. For this one, I'm going to be using blueberries because Stacy's dad and my dad love blueberries, and they are going to be eating the bulk of this cake. So they're getting their blueberries for Christmas. If Stacy and I were doing, we put cherries on ours, but they're getting blueberries this time. So anyway, let me turn my camera and get started, and we will get this cheesecake in the oven. I love this recipe. This is going to be the hardest one for me to resist. I mean, I love peanut butter fudge, you guys, but this cheesecake is like my favorite of all time. It really is. So I'm going to have a little bit on Christmas Eve, but I probably won't have more than that. Anyway, all right, let's get started. A little different than my crafting, you know. Is this considered a craft, you guys? Wink, 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 wink. Okay, as you can see, I have my bow here all ready to go. There we go. I am supposed to reserve a cup of this cake mix. So let me get my little 1 cup bowl from the Pioneer Woman. Aren't they cute? They're little stacking bowls. I got them last summer. Aren't they just as cute as a button? So there's my 1 cup. Reserve 1 cup. 1 cup goes in the cake part, and the rest of what's in this bag will go in the crust. Oh, good thing I haven't vacuumed, huh? I just got that all over my floor. Oh, Lordy. There we go. And the rest goes in this bowl. Seems like a big cup to me, but whatever. We're gonna go with it. Okay. Let me clean out my floor. That's a mess. Okay, next thing, well, I need to take some Crisco, and I need to, let me pull you up for just a second, and I need to grease a 13 by 9 inch baking dish, and I use just a Pyrex baking dish, and it comes with a lid. I got it at Walmart a while back. They're nice little dishes. That's what I'm gonna do this. Oh, there's my oven. It's the temperature. I haven't caught up yet. Grease the bottom and up the sides of this baking dish. Okay. Now, as I said, I'm just going to start out with a teaspoon of vegetable oil. And we're going to work our way up in there. This is just Crisco vegetable oil. So you get, I'm going to start out with 1 teaspoon. That's it, and 1 egg. I've had my eggs sitting out here for a little while. I like baking with my eggs at room temperature, or as close to it as I can get them. 1 egg. All right, there we go. I haven't used this in a while, can you tell? I think I probably could have even done a 1/2 of a teaspoon. I might add a little bit of this to it, you guys, to be honest. I want it to be just a little bit more cakey. This is a big cup anyway. And if I had it to do again, I tell you, I might not put any oil in it, you guys. Honestly, I guess it needs it for whatever. I don't know what. Anyway, let's move over here. To spread it out. Ouch, sorry. I finally got it in there, as you saw. It's not beautiful, but it'll work. And trust me, it's not going to hurt the taste. All right, next thing we do is we cream the cream cheese and the sugar together. Both blocks of cream cheese and 1/2 of a cup of sugar. Yep, 1/2 of a cup of sugar. Okay, next we add our three eggs, and no, you don't have to mix them up. You just put them on in there. And the reserved cake mix. And you mix that until smooth. I'll be back going into fast motion so you don't have to hear the mixer. Then you add 3 teaspoons of vanilla, and I have Shank's vanilla, pure vanilla extract. This is from the Amish. 1, 2, 3. I am going to have to turn the mixer on low because we slowly pour in 1.5 cups of whole milk. Very slowly pour it in because it's going to get really runny. You guys are going to go, Arlynn, this will never set up. It's too runny. It's too runny. What are you doing? No, 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 no. Don't add all that milk. Trust me, you guys. Trust me. This works out every single time. I've never had it fail. Ever, ever, ever. You follow the directions to the T. You are not, except for that oil, except for the amount of oil. I don't know what to tell you about that, other than just don't add but 1/2 teaspoon, if that, and 1/2 an egg if we could, you know, but I don't think you can do that. I don't know. Duncan Hines needs to tweak that recipe. I need to stop it, and I need to mix it, or, you know, get it off the sides. Finish mixing it, and all we do is pour it in the baking dish. Once it's all incorporated, I'm going to use my finger. I just washed my hands. Washed them about 1,000,000 times today. They are clean. And finish up the last little bits. And that, my friends, is that. Over my lovely crust. Not. Do one more stir. Make sure I have everything incorporated. Pour it in. And that is it. We'll put it in a 300-degree oven for 55 minutes, about 45 to 55. I usually cook it about 55 minutes. If I remember, I look at my recipe, go in my memory. It says 45 to 55 minutes. But I usually cook it at right around 55. Use a toothpick to check it. And when the toothpick comes out clean, it's done. So I'm going to get this in the oven, and I will come back when it is time to top it with those blueberries. All right, be back. Hey everyone, I'm back to top this cheesecake. That's all I'm going to do. I'm just going to simply take a can of Lucky Leaf Premium Blueberry Fruit Filling and Topping. That's it. And look, I don't even have to use a can opener. And I'm going to open it up, and I'm going to pour it on top of this cheesecake, and then I'm going to put the cheesecake in the refrigerator, and it will be ready to go. I can't taste this though, daggone it. I wish I could. Because as I said, this is like my favorite of all desserts. Anyway, let me put the camera down here so y'all can see me do this. Here is, oh my goodness, they look delicious. Even though I'm not, thank you, Chris. The hand is taking the top. Even though I'm not as crazy about blueberries as I am cherries. I still like blueberries. So all I do is just simply pour it on and then spread it out. This is not hard, but it is so good. It's one of Dustin's favorites too. He really likes cheesecake. Alrighty, there we go. All done. And then I just spread it out. There we go. To the edges. Boy, I feel like there were a lot of blueberries in that can. Yum! My goodness. They were generous with their blueberries. And I just take it right out to the sides. I don't take it to the edge of the dish necessarily. But there we go. That is my topped blueberry, in this case, baked cheesecake. I'll be right back for some final words, you guys. Okie dokie, you guys, that's it. That is all she wrote for my blueberry cheesecake. Does that not look delicious or what? And it tastes so good. I would not steer y'all wrong. I promise you it's gonna taste fantastic. But anyway, all right, as I said, I'll be back with probably peanut butter pie, and then that'll be the last thing for this. So, for this little series of mine. Whoops, sorry. So let me say some final words here. I hope that all is well with everyone. I hope that those of you who are struggling or suffering with a catastrophic illness or chronic pain, I hope that you have someone there with you, spending their days with you, helping you get through each day, making the very, very best out of each day. I hope there's nothing weighing on your minds or your hearts, pulling your attention away from where you want it to be or where it should be. Sorry. I love y'all to bits, to bits, to bits. Hugs all around. And I keep you in my thoughts and my prayers every single day. And with all that said, and a tear here or there, because I love you guys so much. Until next time, y'all take good care. Bye-bye.